Okay, I thought I'd just make a quick video about how I produce my own STS spray for plant reversal. This is going to be part of the Grand Exchange S1 breeding project that I'm doing. And what you see in front of you is kind of some already prepared items. And so I'll just go through this. It's already mixed up. And then I'm going to link a video to where I got this recipe from. It's not my recipe. It's from a guy on YouTube called Weed in a Pot. He's a fantastic fella, gives lots of useful information, and he gave this recipe, and I've used it, and it's been fantastic. I mean, lots of pollen sacs. I've had success on 100% of the plants that I've reversed, and the plants that I've given this solution to other people to reverse. So it requires some different ingredients. You'll see a couple of large containers over here. They're going to be held with the stock solutions, A and B. I store those in the fridge, and when I want to mix a batch up, I'll show you how we're going to mix it up. We're going to need some distilled water, a measuring cup. This is, let me see which one this is. This is the sodium thiosulfate anhydrous. If you can see this, I'm going to put this here. There's also a pentahydrate that he talks about in the video, but I find the anhydrous works very well. You need a little bit less. I think this is quite a lot in here. I only need 2 grams when I'm making a stock solution. And I'm going to see if it says how much is in here. But I don't, 500 grams. So, I mean, I can use this for pretty much 1,000 batches of stock solution. And the stock solution, when mixed up, can make 10 spray bottles of 500 milliliters of STS spray. So this is going to last quite a long time, but it needs to be kept in a cool and dark place. And then over here, there's the silver nitrate crystals. Inside of here is a small container. You'll see here that it says silver nitrate crystals, and this is 5 grams. And for every time I make a stock solution over here with the silver nitrate solution, I need 0.4 grams or 400 milligrams into 500 mils of water for the nitrate part B solution. And I need 2 grams of the sodium thiosulfate anhydrous into 500 milliliters in this stock solution of 500 mils of distilled water. So once I have the 2 stock solutions made of 500 mil, then I can go ahead and pull out in these large syringes 50 milliliters each. So I mix the 50 milliliters each in a bottle, and then I add 400 milliliters of distilled water into the spray bottle for a total of 500 milliliters of STS spray. I've been using these stock solutions for over 6 months now, and they work just fantastic every time I mix a bottle up. And you usually only have to spray every 3 to 5 days with STS, but because I have such a large amount, I actually spray daily, and I get fantastic results, great reversals. So I'm going to show you how I mix it up. It's pretty simple. I just put a towel down just in case I mess up while I'm here. You'll see that I have 1 syringe here that says Theo. I use that for stock solution over here, thiosulfate. And literally it's as simple as putting the syringe to the top of the bottle, squeezing out 50 mils of that stock solution, thiosulfate. That's what I label as stock A. And I put the cap back on. And then I have 50 milliliters here of a stock solution, silver nitrate. And I just put that inside right afterwards, 50 milliliters. And now, so there's 100 milliliters inside. And I keep these separate so that they don't mix or they don't have residual. This one says nitrate. This one says Theo. There's 60 milliliter syringes. You can buy them online. And so now I have 100 mil in here inside of this bottle. And so we're pretty much almost all the way there. I just simply use, I have a funnel here. Let me just get it out. I simply just use a funnel inside of this bottle, and I take my 400 milliliters of distilled water. I'm going to put this on a flatter surface so it doesn't fall on me. Murphy's Law of wood. And I just dump in 400 milliliters of distilled water to the 100 milliliters of the stock solution, 50 of each. And we'll just get rid of that, and I'll put the lid on my spray bottle. And then I just like to give it a good stir around. Okay, so I give it a good shake. This is a black bottle. It doesn't allow any light. The things that will degrade your STS is light and temperature. So I use a black bottle to ensure that there's no light that can enter the bottle. And then I store this in the fridge. And I have it clearly marked STS, silver thiosulfate. You don't want people using this. It's a pretty dilute solution that works very well, but it can still be harmful. So be careful, make sure the people in your family understand what it is and that it's in a safe place. So dark container into the fridge. This will last 30 days, give or take, after you mix the solution. I've used it longer, but for best results, 30 days is best. The stock solutions here, they're good for about a year. So as long as you keep them, you'll see that I've wrapped them in tin foil and I've taped up the edges. That's to try and keep the light out. I've put it in a secondary fridge that I have, and it barely gets opened, so it stays within a dark environment. If your STS turns amber, every once in a while you want to check it. If it's turning amber or dark brown, it means that it's actually losing its viability, and it's time to create some new STS. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually cut and splice in the video from the gentleman from Weed in a Pot. And he's going to walk through all the measurements. I followed it to a T, so I didn't do it in this video, but I did kind of explain some of the ingredients and the items you'll need and the storage and how I mix it up. I've just mixed up a bottle here for us. And hopefully it's helpful. And pay attention to his video. It's fantastic, and it's the absolute duplicate of what I use. So hope this was helpful. Okay, we'll go now to the video of him mixing it up in Weed in a Pot. Thanks.
Welcome to Hemp Processing and Technology. Today, we'll be showing you how to make silver thiosulfate solution. Making silver thiosulfate solution, or STS for short, is a very simple process, but due to its slight toxicity and irritation to the skin on contact, you'll need some basic PPE of gloves, safety glasses, and a face mask to make the mixture. And as for the tools needed, let's start first with the two main ingredients of 99.99% silver nitrate, as well as sodium thiosulfate anhydrous, or sodium thiosulfate pentahydrate. Next, you'll need some distilled water or reverse osmosis water, 2 large glass bottles with sealable lids that can hold at least 500 milliliters, a 500 milliliter glass spray bottle, a large measuring glass that can measure at least 500 milliliters of water, and a digital scale that can measure down to 100 milligrams or 0.1 grams. If the glass bottles and spray bottles aren't tinted, you'll also need some aluminum foil to wrap these bottles to prevent light leak from decreasing the shelf life of the solution. Now to start, if you have a sodium thiosulfate anhydrous, you'll need to measure 2 grams of it. And if you have a sodium thiosulfate pentahydrate, you'll need to measure 3 grams of it. Place it all in the measuring glass, and then add in 500 milliliters of distilled water. Stir until the sodium thiosulfate is completely dissolved, and then pour everything into a glass bottle, cap it up, and label it. Next, we'll need to weigh out 400 milligrams or 0.4 grams of silver nitrate. Place it all in the measuring glass, and then add 500 milliliters of distilled water. Stir until the silver nitrate is completely dissolved, and then pour everything into a glass bottle. Cap it up and label it. Now with these 2 batches of stock solution concentrate, you can make 10 spray bottles of 500 milliliter batches of STS. However, because STS has a shorter shelf life of about a month or so, It's best to mix one batch of this at a time and then keep the rest separated, as each of these stock solutions can last for up to a year in the refrigerator. Just be sure to keep it out of the light to ensure a longer shelf life. But yeah, back to making a single batch of STS. And I have both a 50 milliliter measuring glass as well as a food syringe to help me measure out what I need. Place 50 milliliters of the sodium thiosulfate solution into a 500 milliliter spray bottle. Then mix in 50 milliliters of the silver nitrate solution. Be sure to stir well so that both are combined. Fill it with 400 milliliters of distilled water. Give it a good stir, and this will make 500 milliliters of diluted STS, ready to be applied onto your plants. After the first application, if it looks like the solution is slightly burning your plant leaves, you can always dilute the STS a little more, although I've had good success with this specific dilution rate. And like we said before, STS breaks down pretty quickly once it's been produced, and it'll break down even faster if it's exposed to the light or warm temperatures. So you'll want to block the light out of the glass spray bottle that's holding an STS by using a tinted bottle or wrapping everything in foil or both. When not in use, store the STS in the refrigerator, and as long as the solution looks clear in color, it should still be viable. After a period of time though, if your STS does start to turn brown, that's when it's time to make a new batch. And that's it. Like the content? Then be sure to check out our beginner's guide to creating CBD products from scratch, available at Amazon.